everyone. Welcome back to the Ascension Academy podcast. Today, we are welcoming back a very special guest, Gillian Bicket. And she was on, hi, Gillian. She was on probably about 6 months ago, and we talked about dream interpretation and the Galactic Federation. So if you guys are interested in that, go check it out. But today, we're going to do really cool thing that I've never done before. We're going to take turns channeling the Galactic Federation. This was Gillian's idea, and I said, that sounds fun. I've never done a video like this, so I'm a little nervous. But the Galactic Federation wants to come through, share some messages. The theme or topic for today that we downloaded is going to be preparing for the arrival. And we said we're both going to start with a message for the collective, and we'll kind of go from there. And questions will come up for each other, and we'll probably take turns, but neither of us have really tapped in ahead of time. We're just going to see what wants to flow through today for the audience. So welcome back, Gillian. How have you been since our last episode?
I've been good, really good.
Good.
How about yourself?
Yeah, I've been great. Doing some of these videos, channeling the Federation. I'm not sure if you heard, but one of my colleagues had first contact in October with a Federation woman in person.
Wow.
So that's been going on. It's really exciting and just moving everything forward. So that's my big update.
That's great. That's super exciting.
Yeah.
More about it.
Yeah. We can hang out afterwards. I can share some more details. Okay, so Gillian, do you want to go first with a message for the collective from the Galactic Federation?
Sure.
Do you feel ready to drop in, or do you anything else you want to
take a second to connect?
Okay.
Greetings. All is well, and all is unfolding as it should. We are eagerly awaiting our arrival. Now they're giving me an image of some things that are happening currently. A lot of things will be unfolding and falling away in the coming months. And it's going to seem like chaos to us, as well as some natural disasters happening as Earth shakes off the last bit of fear and things that are not stewarding her. But rest assured that everything is going as expected, and to do your best at staying out of the fear. We are here to support you. And are available whenever you need to connect to us. I think that's all for now.
Okay. Wonderful. I have a few questions that came up from that. I'm wondering, do you want me to do them now, or do you think I should take my turn with an opening message?
Whatever feels right.
Maybe I ask you now before I forget. I didn't bring a notepad. Yeah. So, I've heard about some natural disasters that are expected to happen on the planet. Um, could they speak more to that? I know it sounds like that could be really scary. Could they speak more to, I guess, one, the purpose of these natural disasters, kind of from their perspective, and then what type of natural disasters are they talking about? Might we expect to see?
Yes. Currently, the Earth's vibration does not match the fifth dimension. And for her to get to the fifth dimension, her vibration needs to raise, and that shows up as energy shifts. Energetic shifts can happen in weather patterns and earthquakes, wave action, volcanic eruptions. Third dimension energy needs to fall away. So what they're showing me is earthquakes and volcanoes erupting and chaotic weather patterns like torrential rain, tornadoes, and these are all energetic shifts raising the vibration of Earth. Sort of thinking like the energy that's not serving us has to fall off.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're commenting about reorganizing the grid a little bit when these happen. So, for instance, when there's a earthquake, the grid gets damaged a little bit. So then they repair it. It's like an upgrade.
Sure.
Upgrade to a higher dimension, a more suitable energy. And their words are, rest assured that these energetic shifts are much needed and intentional, and to do your best to stay in the flow and not get caught up in any fear surrounding these events. Mm-hmm. Recognizing that not only do humans need to be raising their vibrations, but the earth does as well. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, to me, it makes sense. The earth has to parallel all of the internal work we've been doing to raise our vibrations. And I think how so much of that does not look pretty. It's such a purging. It's very painful. There'll be a lot of emotions coming out, tears coming out. And so it makes sense then that the earth also has her own process as a planet. And as she is also a conscious living being, will be going through this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, it's tough for a lot of us humans to see our things destroyed and our loved ones hurt or killed. And they have the greatest respect for that and compassion. It's part of the process, unfortunately.
Yeah. Yeah. Could they speak a little bit more to, you said chaos, so natural disasters, as well as potential chaos as we're going through these changes? What do they mean by that chaos that might be coming up on the planet?
Well, there's admittedly some very chaotic things happening in the United States government right now, that are inciting a lot of negative emotions. So what they're talking about is emotions like fear and greed and anger are extremely low vibrational.
Mm-hmm.
And all of that stuff has to come to the forefront. It has to come to the surface.
Mm-hmm.
And that often looks very chaotic to the people that are living through it. But until all of that comes out, we can't get into the higher vibration of love and joy, which is where the fifth dimension is.
Mm-hmm.
So all of those negative emotions have to come out in everything and everyone. And that often looks like chaos because of the unraveling of governments, of businesses, of large and small groups, families, friendships. People may find themselves having new friend groups or disconnecting or reconnecting with family. But all of those things need to fall away, similarly to a tower card, to make room, because there's currently no more room for other emotions. So they often show me images. So when I'm stop and pause, I'm looking at all of the image and coding it, translating it, so to speak.
You're very clairvoyant, right? You're able to see very well. Yeah, very cool.
So sometimes it takes me a minute to look, and then I can speak upon it. There are going to be crazy times and seemingly crazy things happening, but keep the course. They're saying keep the course. It's intentional. It needs to come out and fall away before you can build up into the right energetic frequency. So they're asking everyone to stay out of the fear, be patient, hold your own high vibration, and keep your own positivity, and know that we will end up where we're supposed to end up. But it's going to look chaotic for a little while.
Yeah.
Did that answer your question?
It did. Yeah. Yeah. I love that even though we're saying preparing for the arrival, their focus through your message is back on us, the work we're doing, our vibration, and Earth, how she is preparing. And I feel like it's just a really good reminder that this really, although we're excited to meet them and to be galactic citizens, is about our own work. It's our own journey. It's our own healing journey, and collectively and with Mother Earth, right? What we're all doing.
Yes, absolutely. And while you were talking, they did say that all of this is preparing for our arrival. And they said if we were to show up right now, it would just cause more chaos.
Mm-hmm.
We're not in the right vibrational mindset collectively. Lots of us already are there and patiently or unpatiently waiting, right?
Yes.
You're already and help us out, or but a large portion of the world is not sitting in the right vibration at the moment.
Sure.
So they're very intentional with their timing.
Sure. If they were to come right now, just with their ships, open contact, it would put everything back, right? There'd be so much chaos, possibly riots. People would be scared, angry, confused. So, not the right time for that sort of arrival yet. We'll get there. Yeah.
We will get there.
Yes, we'll get there. Unless you wanted to expand on that anymore, I had one more question that came up from your initial message. I think they said something about continuing to connect with them. I can't remember your exact words, but I know I've been getting a lot of questions, people saying, well, that sounds really interesting. How do I talk to Galactic Federation, or how do I get involved? And some people, it's a spectrum of people who kind of have been either practicing psychic abilities for a while, or maybe someone who's never, you know, ever felt like they even had a moment of being psychic, but they're really interested and excited. So could they speak to more, if people want to talk to them, if people want to get connected to the Federation, how might they go about doing that?
Yes, absolutely. They're showing me a lot of different things. So the first thing is community. Find community, and you can connect through that way, surrounding yourself with like-minded people and learning more. And the next thing is learning about your strongest clair. So if you are somebody that can hear, set your intent, if you're clairaudient, set your intention that you want to talk to them, and whether that would be through meditation, or journeying. For instance, you can put yourself on a different planet or in a different dimension with the intention that you want to meet with them. And they most often will show up and answer your questions. You just have to believe in it. They're not going to show up in your bedroom, looking like an Arcturian.
Right. Yeah. That'd be a little scary.
Right. And, you have to have some faith, but really recognizing your own clairs. If you're somebody that really connects with crystals, pick a crystal and set the intention that this is the one that's going to help you connect with, your interstellar friends or the Galactic Federation. And if the Galactic Federation seems daunting, pick your interstellar guide and, or picture yourself, in a different galaxy, in the Pleiades, and check it out. Go to their place, see what it's like. Are you somebody that can do automatic writing? Ask for them to come in and give you some messages. There's so many different ways, but also recognizing that we don't all connect the same way.
Yeah.
Some of us can hear, some of us know, some of us can see. So don't expect it to look like mine or yours.
Yeah.
I believe that a lot of the children or younger people that have been recently put on this planet or born, however you want to look at it. Some people call them indigo children. Some people might say that it's some of the neurodivergent people. Get connected with some of them because they are, they're very interstellar. A lot of them are.
Oh, yeah.
And getting used to that and getting connected with their energy can oftentimes help, but also recognizing that your energy needs to be high vibing. If you're in fear, you're never going to make any connection whatsoever.
Yeah.
They are very peaceful and do not have bad intentions. Yes, there are some interstellars that aren't of the best intention, but the Galactic Federation keeps us very, very protected. And those groups aren't coming here. You know, they're not allowed.
Yeah. Yeah. Were you done? Sorry, I was going to share something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, like, I only became psychic maybe 4 years ago, and it was really just exploring and playing and then developing trust in yourself. So I find that we all either hear things, know things, see things, but we usually just dismiss it or don't trust it. So for me, it was a practice. My strongest one starting out was just claircognizance, which is a knowingness. And I felt like I would just know things. And then I found the more I voiced it, like with another person, I really feel I'm feeling or sensing blah, blah, blah. And then they would always come back with, yes, how did you know that? So it was really a practice of like, oh, I'm feeling this. Oh, I'm seeing this or I'm hearing this. Just get really comfortable kind of expressing it. And then, like you said, believing it, trusting it. So it takes time to trust that. And then when Interstellars started coming in, that to me was a whole other level because I had this limiting belief that aliens aren't real.
Mm-hmm.
And what some of us may realize how deep that goes and how deeply we've been programmed. And that was blocking me a little bit. So I had to peel that back as well. So just have fun with it, play with it. And if you're here watching this video and you're interested in the Federation, they would love to talk to you. They would love to answer your questions. They give wonderful advice. So that would be kind of my take on it. Just play with your abilities.
I think that's great advice. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's in play and trust.
And trust that what you're getting is accurate. I still have to do that sometimes too. Like, okay, I'm hearing this. That's true. That's true.
Yeah. I often do that. I ask them to repeat it. Is this what I'm hearing? Is this a correct message? Yeah. Sure.
That's great too. Yeah. Kind of repeat it back. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I keep thinking of more questions. Maybe I ask you another, and then when I feel out of questions, we can swap. I feel like if I don't say it now, I'm going to forget it. So as we're talking about all this, we're channeling Federation, we're talking about the arrival. Maybe we just start with the basic. What is the Galactic Federation? Why should we care? Who are they? Why are they coming to the planet? What would they say to that?
What would they say to that? Well, the Galactic Federation is an incredibly large group of interstellar beings that therefore they come in peace, and they're to get into the Galactic Federation, you have to be willing to lead with nonviolence. So if you have disagreements or things that need to be sorted out, that you do it through mediation and arbitration and nonviolence. So their big thing is not violent. They recognize that violence is detrimental. You ruin your planet, you ruin other planets, you destroy the balance of the entire universe, multiverse, however you want to look at it, that there are reactions to every action. So when we have disruptions to our planet, like major disruptions, every other planet, every other system, every other universe feels it too, because we are all connected. So they have they've been protecting us for a very, very long time, protecting us against ourselves, you know, making sure that the planet continues. And their job is to kind of be our watcher, our protector, but they're also working on helping us get into the fifth dimension. And at this moment, a lot of us humans, while we're having a human life, we are more interstellar ourselves, and we've come here to help with that ascension as well. So probably you and me and anybody else that's really getting the call to explore interstellars more, it's because we have a deep connection with them. We resonate with them. I feel like I diverged from the question a little.
No, well, it helps answer kind of who they are and their role they're playing as protectors, but also that why are they here now is because of our ascension into the fifth dimension, and that they're helping with that.
Yes, it's vital that we get there. It's needed for the entire universe, for everyone, not just us, you know.
So that's why they're not from Earth, but they are stepping in and offering assistance and protecting, is because of our interconnectedness to everything.
Right. They're not here as our savior, but they can assist us in different ways.
Yeah. Could you speak more to, or I guess, what would they say? What is the fifth dimension? Because I continue to understand this more, although I still feel like I don't understand, but I always like to ask people, what is the fifth dimension, right? Because Galactic Federation, my understanding, is in the fifth dimension. So at this time, we can't see them. We can't see their ships. It's in the fifth dimension. And my understanding is that fifth dimension is physical, right? So we still have our bodies. When we look around, it will be solid and physical. However, where we are in the third dimension, we can't yet see them or interact with them. Is that correct? And what would they speak to describe the fifth dimension?
So the fifth dimension is, as we've been speaking, is higher vibrational. So vibrations like fear and anger don't. They don't match the fifth vibration, so they don't exist in the same sense. While there still can be frustration and disappointment, and it's not perfect by any means, there aren't these really strong pulls that drive people. Like people are very driven here by fear or by anger.
Yeah.
They might lead with that emotion. In the fifth dimension, you're not leading with that emotion. You're leading with more love and joy. But also in that fifth dimension, your clairs are stronger. It's really dense here. So we have to actually raise our vibration to use a lot of our clairs.
Mm-hmm.
And it will be much easier there. That's hard. It's hard for me to describe, but it's also hard for them to describe. They give me a feeling.
Okay.
Like they make me feel it and show me the images. Everything still looks the same. There's a slightly different lens.
Mm.
Like it's brighter and it's more of a feeling, a lighter feeling, and a general happier feeling. You know how if you are somebody who maybe takes the subway to work and you get on in the morning and everybody's very focused and they're, stressed that they might be late and they've got all these things that they have to do at work and they're just on their way and you can feel that dense energy of being busy and having something to do. In the fifth dimension, there's more of an overall feeling of joy and love. So those, like if you were to get on the subway, which is still going to be in existence, it would be lighter, easier, so to speak. And things just won't. Money will be different. Power will be different. Trials, that word, they use that. This is not me talking. Trials and tribulations will really not exist so much. Struggle will not be as much. Things will just be easier. And a lot of that comes from having a more vibration of ease and joy, but also having money worries won't be so much, and there won't be an issue with power.
You mean like electricity power? Or
yes, yeah, you're right. Both
kind of power.
Both. Yeah, there won't be power struggles so much. We won't have people that are in power for the wrong reasons won't be in power for the wrong reasons. Businesses that don't match the vibration of the collective vibration of what's good for everybody won't make it there. If that Does that make sense? Like right now we have a lot of companies that are in power because of greed.
Yes.
That's not a vibration that's going to make it there. It won't subsist. It'll fall away. And then power source, as in electricity, will be different and be available for everyone without to be free.
Yeah.
So homelessness won't really be a thing. Not having enough food won't be a thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you, Gillian and Federation. I feel like it's probably my turn to channel, unless do you have anything else you want to share about that?
I don't think so. It feels like they're still there, but they've stepped back a little bit.
Sure. Okay, then I'll go ahead and jump in and see what message they have for the collective. If I kind of sit back in my chair like this far, can you still hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Hello, everyone. We are thrilled to be welcoming Earth into the fifth dimension. It consists of everything that Gillian described and more. It's a very beautiful, positive, joyful, community-driven place, society. We are reaching out our hand at this time to make our assistance more available, to make our presence more known to humans as humanity reaches their ascension into the fifth dimension. This is a gradual process. It is not something that happens overnight, although we are very pleased and excited with the speed at which humanity is ascending. And we will reiterate on the natural disasters that Gillian spoke to. This is a natural part of any planet's ascension, is a recalibrating, a purging of denser energies. And so, yes, it must happen on the planetary level as well to get Earth into the fifth dimension. Do not be scared. This is a message we always reiterate, is do not be scared of the changes, the natural disasters that are taking place on Earth. Know that each and every one of them, natural disasters, anything that may seem chaotic, is orchestrated at a higher level. Even us in the fifth dimension, Galactic Federation, most of us, if we are in the fifth dimension, we have physical bodies. So most of us in the Federation, not all, have physical bodies. But even us, we work with higher powers, non-physical energies, entities that you may call spirit, spirit guides, source or creator, the angelic realm. We work with them as well. And all of the work that we do is guided from this higher level as well. So just know all of the changes that are happening on the planet are also supported by these higher frequencies, higher beings outside of even us who have incarnated physical bodies. Rest assured that the very first moment that we can, we will be meeting with all of you in person as soon as possible when the vibrations are right. We do at this time have an initiative, a directive from the Federation at large as a whole to be coming to the planet and meeting with individuals. So this is occurring. It is taking place on an individual and small group community level. It is not yet taking place at a global level, although it will as the frequencies continue to raise. We are very excited to interact with, to meet with our human friends. We express that excitement as well, as we know many humans are very excited to meet us. And we as well are excited to meet you. The time is coming where we will all live together. Once Earth is in the fifth dimension, the fifth dimension is a place where we reside and feel very comfortable in our vibrations. It's our natural state. So once Earth has reached the fifth dimension, we will be coming to Earth and joining you. We will be integrating with your communities, with your society. Many of you may choose to come to the ship. You may choose to leave your planet altogether, if that is your choice. As you know, in fifth dimension, you have the utmost freedom to do as you please, go wherever you please. This will lead to many new possibilities, relationships, both personal and professional. And we are very excited to integrate with our human friends. This is a reunion that is a long time coming, and we are very much anticipating this. We would like to speak to you about timelines. However, we are cautious when it comes to giving timelines. We have in the past had projections, had read the energy that certain things would happen, contact would happen, and had made promises to our human friends at the time that when the moment came, we could not fulfill. And we felt very sorry about this. We know many of our human friends had felt misled. So we are very cautious when it comes to giving any sort of timeline. Although we know humans, it is helpful for humans to know a general sense. We will say within, if you're watching this video, within the next 2 years, many of you will have had contact with us on an individual level. Many more following that. And we reiterate that presently we are in first contact, in the process of having first contact with many individuals, many humans on the planet. That is happening now. And if you're watching this video, it will be happening with you as well shortly. Although we cannot guarantee a specific date or a specific time, it will occur. Okay, I think that's all for now, Gillian. Feel them kind of stepping back too. I'm gonna come out for a second.
That was great. Now, do you remember what you say?
I do.
Good.
Yeah, I'm a conscious channeler. You know, yeah. Yeah. So for the audience members, kind of channelers, we all have different, sometimes it just comes through and we're not aware, we can't remember. We have to like go back and listen to a recording. Some are more conscious. So I do remember most of. Sometimes the little details I might not remember, but I do. So if you want to ask any questions, either of me consciously, or I can drop back in if there's anything you want to get details on.
Took some notes.
Awesome.
I really liked that they talked about not being scared about the natural disasters and that they've been orchestrated at a higher level. And
Yeah.
um, I also I think it's really important, and I'm glad that they said something about working with the angels and guides and that different that they themselves. It's not just us that have guides and use the angelic realm, that so do the interstellars,
Yeah.
which to me makes them more relatable. And oh, they're just like us,
Yeah.
and they can get hurt, physically hurt, just like us too.
Yes. Yeah, they're not invincible, even though they do have some different abilities than we do, and they live in love and peace and joy more often. They're not
Yeah.
invincible.
No, especially the ones that are in physical bodies. They still have physical limitations. Well, um, I don't think they get ill like we do. That could be an interesting question that we could ask them. How
Sure.
are some of our illnesses and, especially things like cancers, are those in the fifth dimension? Will that be something that we still have to deal with, or is it going to get better? You know?
Yeah. Do you want me to drop in now, or do you want to share your other notes?
No, sure. That one just came to me, and it seems really like how how cool would that to be to look forward to if we didn't have those.
Okay, I'm gonna drop back in.
Mm-hmm.
So they're saying, Jillian, this is an excellent question. It will be pertinent to many audience members who watch this videos. Thank you for asking. Disease is a limitation of the third dimension. In the fifth dimension and above, we do not have disease as you have in the third dimension. Similar to how we have emotions, but we do not have the same spectrum and density of emotions as you experience. This parallels our reality, our bodies, and our physical health as well. So the disease, the quote disease that we have, actually we would not use the word disease. We do have in our dimension, a better word might be ailments. We occasionally have, we're trying to find the right words. What we have, there's no word for in the English language at this time because it doesn't quite exist in your third dimension. So we're trying to find parallel words. The best word we can say is elements that are very minor, very temporary, such as a cold, although even it's not as serious as a cold for us. But we do, a disruption is a good word. We do on occasion experience disruptions to our bodies. Sometimes it's just to our fields, our energy fields, to our psyches. This usually occurs from a traumatic event. It usually occurs from something outside of ourselves that has happened, an event that has happened to us, has been placed upon us. Rather than many chronic conditions and diseases in the third dimension, many are induced from self, from patterns and conditioning and long-term habits, long-term patterns of thinking, long-term patterns of emotions, of actions. Of course, not every chronic disease, but the majority comes from human behavior. So we'll leave it there. We know this is not all encompassing, but we're generalizing here to try to point to and share how it is in the fifth dimension. So when we, the fifth dimension, have a quote disruption to our field, we have all sorts of methods, healers. We more use the word healer than doctor to bring us back into balance, bring us into alignment, bring us back into sourceness. We also do not need to eat or sleep in the fifth dimension, and our bodies very easily replenish themselves. The energy flows through. So even if there is sickness or a certain pattern, it is like it rebalances and reheals itself with our connection to source, and humans are entering this as well. When humans are fully in the fifth dimension, you may choose to eat. This is a choice. Many humans will continue to choose to eat because you enjoy it, and food can be very pleasurable. And many enjoy cooking, and you may choose to continue eating if you wish, although you'll be eating a much lighter, higher vibrational foods if you continue to eat. The other portion of humans will choose to not eat, just like us. It's not necessary, as we receive our nourishment, our energy, our replenishment from the atmosphere around us. And we do not need to sleep. And humans will also enter this stage as well. However, we'll reiterate that the transition will be gradual for humans, but this will be where you will land in the fifth dimension. Gillian, would you like to ask any more questions about diseases or treatment of diseases in the fifth dimension?
Yes, when they were talking about disruptions in their energy field, what came to mind was maybe getting hurt, like falling and getting hurt, and then possibly maybe, like say you broke your skin because you fell, and maybe you would get an infection in your skin if it wasn't taken care of properly. Is that the sort of disruptions that they're talking about?
Yes. So, yes, Gillian, this is a perfect example. And so again, we'll point back to this is something more from the outside happening to you. So, and like we said, or Lauren said, we're not invincible. So we still, yes, may fall, may scrape ourselves, may have more severe accidents. Things do happen, unfortunately, where there may be more serious traumas, such as a car accident. We're giving an example, something more traumatic like that is a serious trauma to the body. So yes, we're able to completely repair any limbs, organs very quickly. Another example of the outside trauma would be a more mental, emotional, say, traumatic event to the psyche. And we also have medicine and treatments to repair mental, emotional, energetic traumas that we may experience that we are all subject to.
Okay, great. I have another question regarding the sleep. I appreciate them answering the other question. I'm very much looking forward to not having disease. So they said that they didn't really need to sleep. Do they rest and recharge their bodies?
Great question, Gillian. Was that the end of the question?
Yes.
Yes, we do have periods of rest. We also take vacations from our work, and when we are involved in very depleting activities, we may take a nap, occasionally take a nap. Hold on. Okay. Felt like I just lost them for a second. Anything else you guys want to say? No, I think they're like, okay, they answered the question. I wanted to say more, but Gillian, did that answer it? So they do rest sometimes and take naps?
Yes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That did answer my question. And I'm making the assumption that they're young babies and things like that have a little bit different needs as they're growing, I would assume.
Let's look. Yes, our babies do sleep. They do have much more active time than your babies do on Earth. Again, they're not needing that replenishment and recharging. And many of our even babies and youth, when they are resting, they're not entering quite the depth of brainwaves and total unconsciousness that humans experience during sleep, or babies and our young ones experience during sleep. We, at all ages, when we're resting, most of the time, it's more like a bear who's in hibernation, there's still a bit of an awakeness, like the bear is sleeping. It's maybe a bad analogy. Okay. So they're saying there's still a bit of consciousness. So it's not into full unconscious sleep. So even our babies and our children, I guess, who are requiring more rest to replenish themselves, because when we rest or fully sleep, we connect to source energy, we recharge our bodies. They may still be active with their astral bodies. As you know, we all in the fifth dimension actively use our astral bodies just as we do our physical bodies. And we're happy to speak more to that as well. Because humans, this is one ability, psychic ability that humans will be gaining more access to as they reach the fifth dimension. So the baby may be resting and still be very active in its astral body at the time. As they continue to develop and they have language skills, they may be resting, but still telepathically talking with their friends, playing with their other friends. And even for us as adults, as we take rest, generally there's still a bit of our consciousness that is active as we take rest. If there has been, as we described before, a serious trauma, or we're in need of medical treatment, we can go completely unconscious if necessary.
Great. That's fascinating. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I kind of want you to ask them, Gillian, about the astral bodies, like what all they do, since they just alluded to that. Do you want me? I think that'd be a fun question. Like, how do they use their astral bodies?
Sure. I
Do
think
you care
that's
if I ask that one?
Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So they're saying we use our astral bodies for all purposes. Think of it just like your physical body. The things you do throughout the day with your physical body may be for entertainment, maybe for work, and maybe for curiosity. Our astral bodies are an extension of self. And yes, humans are gaining access and an ability to use their astral bodies. In the fifth dimension, as Gillian mentioned, you'll be much more able to access your psychic abilities, which are natural, and have in the astral realm, there's no limitations. Some of us even create music and art in the astral realm. We go for pleasure, we enjoy with our friends, we go and we get work done in the astral realm. And we're also able to be completely conscious in our bodies and also in our astral bodies as well, and be multitasking, as humans would call it. Okay, they've stepped back.
Really great. I'm looking forward to that.
That's going to be awesome. Yeah. So many things to look forward to. What other questions do you have, Gillian? Or did you want to offer some more reflections on the notes you took?
Let me check. I think if they could, they mentioned that they had spirit guides and that they connect to the angelic realm too. A lot of people have difficulty connecting with their spirit guides or even knowing what that is. And then when we talk about the angelic realm, there's so many people that equate the angelic realm with being possibly religious when it's not. How do the Interstellers have any insight on how we could get a better connection with our spirit guides and the angelic realm? And maybe if they have a tip on ways to do that.
Okay, let's see what they have to say. Another great question, Gillian. And yes, we will reiterate that angels are not particular to one religion or one ideology or one belief system on earth, that the angelic realm does exist. There is much, much more beyond our physical incarnations. So we too have spiritual guides that for us as well may be an ancestor who has passed on. It may be a loved one that we knew in this lifetime who has passed on. We connect to the angels as well. So these are a few examples that we connect to as well. However, we see them, we feel them very close to us. And this is partially because our clairs, our psychic abilities are so open that for us to talk to, say, an angel is very easy, and it's very similar to how we talk to each other telepathically. And we're able to see them, interact with them. And for many of us, they are our close friends, our close confidants. And it doesn't matter that they don't have a physical body. There's much less separation. And there's also very much a sharing. We don't put them on a pedestal above us, although we regard these beings and light beings with respect and appreciation for their wisdom. They also appreciate us in our physical bodies and our experiences, and know that we are all one, and that they are also source and we are source in bodies, and that there's a mutual sharing between one another. And so you ask how we get into touch, or how might one get into touch with them? Because all of these beings do not have a physical incarnation. The only way to get in touch with them is through psychic abilities. So as Lauren and Gillian mentioned earlier, playing with, developing your psychic abilities, exploring which is your strongest clair. Most people have a couple that are strong, and they come into their incarnation with a couple. Although on Earth they've been shut down. So yes, exploring with your psychic abilities, setting the intention. Intention is everything. You have to, well, you don't have to, but they will come to you and try to get your attention. But the best way is for you to set the intention, especially if you want to have a more conscious relationship with them. For example, there are people that talk with their spiritual guides on a daily basis, telepathically, do automatic writing. And even for us, we take counsel with these guides, sometimes on a daily basis. Does that answer your question, Gillian?
Yes, that's great. I think everybody will be able to relate better to them, knowing that they're very similar to us.
Yes, we hope so too. It is our wish as well. For humans to see our similarities, that we are really not so different, although we may look very different and strange on the outside because you've never seen us before. We hope that you all see the oneness, the similarities between us, and again feel there is nothing to fear from us. And we too want to learn from the human experience and take that into our own lives as well. And that we're happy to share anything and everything we can from our experiences, from our societies, technologies as well. We're completely open source. We don't have money, so we are absolutely 100% excited to share everything, whether it's advice, how we run our schools, whether it's our energy technology. We come with open arms to share this, to give all of this with humans. All you have to do is ask. And this is one of the reasons we're connecting with humans around the planet right now, is because we see that those who are connecting with us now will have some sort of exchange with us in the future, and there will be a sharing of resources, knowledge, information, technologies in the future as humans are entering the fifth dimension.
I'm very much looking forward to that.
As are we.
Thank you.
We're eagerly awaiting the day where we will be able to be with all of you openly.
Wonderful. Sharing and collaboration. Thank you.
You're welcome. What other questions do you have, Gillian? We're happy to answer any of your questions, and this is why we're here today.
Well, I'm not sure if I have a question, but I have been, from what I've seen and from my travels to other realms and other planets, I have noticed that there's a lot of similarities. While things are not exactly the same, some of the landscapes are similar, some of the animals and plants are very similar. And I've been told that Earth was created from all different pieces, all little bits of all different planets. And this brings me comfort knowing that there's similarities everywhere. Would they care to elaborate on that or expand?
Yes, Earth is we will intentionally use the word melting pot of many of our home planets, and we will say you will feel at home on our planets. This is why so many of you feel such a strong resonance with us, with these other planets, not only from the past lives that you may have spent and shared on these planets, but because Earth is literally made from these other planets, as well as you have the genetics of many of us. It's why so many of you feel a resonance with this, and why us in the fifth dimension, there's such a resonance and such a calling. So yes, much of our flora and fauna is similar. You will feel a resonance. It's also being in the fifth dimension. Our life, our habitats, the materials that we build with have a vibration of love and joy in them. So there's much resonance. It will feel, yes, for those of you who come to visit our planets, it will feel like home. It will feel magical and beautiful. We do have planets made up entirely of water that you will be able to come visit. So this is an example of something that will be quite different. Although you do have a large portion of Earth is water, we do have planets entirely of water and fifth dimensional beings inhabiting the water. And there are ways for you in your bodies, human bodies, to come visit us and interact with us and the beings there. Examples are fifth dimensional beings and above that you have heard of: dolphins, whales, mermaids, orcas, other sorts of fish. So this may seem fantastical, and this will be a somewhat different experience because you're not used to that on Earth. Although on Earth you do have these beings as well, but you haven't had interactions with them. So that will feel somewhat unfamiliar and new at first, these water beings. And as Earth enters into the fifth dimension, you will also be able to interact with the water beings on Earth in the fifth dimension. They will be making themselves known as well because it will be safe to. There are, of course, in this infinite universe, a variety and assortment of different types of landscapes, planets, habitats, some that are inhabited, some that are not. However, the ones where we have civilizations will feel very familiar and resonant with all of you. And maybe some of you will join the Federation or another organization and choose to explore uninhabited planets and explore the geology and habitats on new planets as well. It is infinite. Does that answer your question, Gillian? Would you like to ask any further questions about that?
I don't think so. I think that's great. I think it will help people recognize that they're not so different. Interstellars are not so different from us.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. What else do you have for us?
I think that's all for now that I can think of.
Okay, I'll go ahead and come out for a second. So exciting. I'm getting a lot of new information too.
Yeah. I had known a little bit about that, but I thought it would be really great for everybody else to know and for them to elaborate on it.
Like about the plants and animal life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Cool.
And that a lot of their habits a lot of the things that they do are similar. Their movements, the things that they have, they drink out of cups just like we do.
Mm-hmm.
Most of them, not all, wear clothes just like ours.
Yes.
Similar, not exactly like ours, but similar,
Yeah.
That we come from them.
We have their genes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're going to feel very familiar to us.
Yeah.
And that the fifth dimension will feel very familiar because it's love, and we all really want to be in that heart space.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I can't wait.
Yeah. Trying to think if I have any other questions or things I want them to speak about before we get off of here. Do you have anything that comes to mind?
I think so at this time. We've covered a lot of different topics related to the Interstellars. A lot of
Yeah. Yeah, we covered a lot of different topics. And of course, Gillian and I didn't talk about this ahead of time. There was no preparation.
No, so that makes it even better.
Yeah.
those
Yeah.
teens.
Yeah, I definitely learned a lot, and I'll be looking forward to watching this video again and hearing it a second time as I'm not under channeling. Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Well, this has been so much fun. And I guess I would say for everyone who is listening, if you guys have questions, drop them in the comments below, and maybe we could do this again and answer your guys' questions.
Yeah,
It could
that would
be
be super fun. I'd love
that'd be fun. Yeah, we'll take audience questions next time. Yeah, I know they want us to be prepared. They want us to not fear. So I think the more information we have, the more prepared we feel, just the smoother this will all go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And I guess the one last thing I'll say is what I've been realizing is like the reason we are having contact with them is because of our shift to fifth dimension. And that's why it's happening at this time. If we were just staying in the third dimension, I'm not sure that we would necessarily be meeting up with them. There wouldn't be a vibrational match. There wouldn't really be a need. They'd probably still be there protecting us. But the reason we actually get to integrate with them and meet them and have relationships is because as humans, we're entering that frequency. So that's why now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What are you looking forward to the most, Gillian, about the arrival and being in the fifth dimension?
Really, the positivity and the ease, the the lack of fear and the lack of vibration and the lack of those lower things, and then people not suffering. And
Yeah.
gosh, can you imagine what it's going to be like with no disease?
Seriously, I can't even.
That's huge, all in itself, just that one thing.
Yeah. Disease. I think something I also think of is with, I'm not sure what money's going to look like. I know we're in the fifth dimension. Everyone's going to have enough. Everyone's going to have plenty. We won't have debt anymore. Systems will be very different. Like, I know they don't even have money. I'm not
Now,
sure what it's going to look like on Earth.
it's sharing of resources,
Yeah.
sharing of energy and sharing of resources. So, and it's openly sharing. So, because there's no um, there's no greed, and there's lack doesn't exist, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to imagine, it's hard to wrap your head around it, I think, unless we're there.
Yeah.
But for instance, if you can wrap your head around like a barter system, sort of, where
Yeah.
you would say I needed some sort of healing, you would share with me, and in turn, I would share with you what you needed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that gets us a little closer to imagining how it will go in the fifth dimension.
Mm-hmm.
And they just said, like, we're open source. We're happy to share anything and everything with you all. Yeah, there's no hoarding.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that. Like, everyone will just be on an equal playing field and we'll be healthy. So, like, and if we don't have to sleep, we just have to rest. We really can just do the things we want to do, be really creative. I think we'll be able to take projects and work that are interesting to us, no longer having to work just to pay bills, for example.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also looking forward to traveling as things open up, seeing some of those other planets. I'm a big traveler, so that'll be really fun for me.
Yeah. On a water vacation.
Yeah. He's so fun. Okay, well, thank you so much, Gillian. This was awesome. I learned so much. This was super fun to channel with you.
Yeah, it was really great. I learned a lot too. Thank you for inviting me on, Lauren.
You're welcome, Jillian.